brain and spine surgeries, you can trust nationally trained specialists delivering the highest level of care right here in Owensboro. Expert neurosurgeons, local care. Learn more at owensborohealth.org/neurosurgery.
It's the season of adventure sales event where the road meets excitement and savings await. Explore more with the 2026 Ford Explorer Active. Save $6,000 off MSRP. Break away in the 2026 Ford Escape Active. Save $6,500 off MSRP. And chase adventure in the 2025 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend. Over $5,000 off MSRP. Command the road with a Kentucky-built Ford Expedition. Up to $3,500 off MSRP. All during the season of adventure sales event at Champion Ford in Owensboro.
Summer just got a whole lot sweeter at the Creme Coffee House. Cool off and treat yourself with the new summer menu packed with flavors you've got to try. Sip on the cake batter cold brew, strawberry kiwi Red Bull Charger, or poolside cold brew with coconut cold foam. Hungry? Grab the Caprese Avo Toast or the basil base sandwich on fresh sourdough. And don't leave without dessert. Say hello to the orange creamsicle bread. Grab your friends, stop by the Creme Coffee House in downtown Owensboro, and taste your way through the entire summer menu before it's gone.
Feel the power of the road beneath you. Rick's Tire and Service can make it possible. Offering comprehensive car care from front-end repair and brake work to air conditioning and diagnostic services. We're more than just tires. Elevate your ride with our range of aftermarket accessories. Get those wheels, tires, level up with lift kits, sleep bumpers, bed covers, and running boards. Even lights, you bet. At Rick's, we customize your vehicle to reflect your style. Rick's Tire and Service, the place where we turn your car from basic to fantastic.
Looking for a bank that truly puts you first? At Sacramento Deposit Bank, we've been serving our communities with hometown care for over a century. From personal checking and savings to business loans, mobile banking, and more, we make managing your money simple and stress-free. You'll always talk to someone who knows your name. So whether you're saving for the future or chasing a dream, we're here to help you every step of the way. Visit sdbky.com or stop by one of our local branches today. Sacramento Deposit Bank, where banking feels like family. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. When something goes wrong with your plumbing, it never happens at a good time. It happens fast, and it needs fixed fast. Call RFI Plumbing. We're local, licensed, fully insured, and ready to handle everything from emergency leaks to everyday repairs and full plumbing projects. No guesswork, no runaround. Just clear communication, quality work, and a good job done right. When it matters most, trust the local pros at RFI Plumbing.
Get ready for horsepower at the Davis County Fair. Thursday and Friday nights feature exciting truck and tractor pulls in the main arena. Plus, enjoy carnival rides, great food, live music, exhibits, and family attractions throughout the fairgrounds. Gates open at 4 p.m. daily, July 15th through the 18th in Philpott. Thanks to the Michael E. Horn Family Foundation, Hayden Construction Company, GN Excavating and Trucking, Moore Automotive Team, and Royal Lampkin Farm Supply. See you at the fair.
Let's get back to Live at 5 with Steve and Coach on 1027 The Game.
It's Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, Vic Evans, David Clark in the Floor Concept Studios, and now we're being joined by our Green River Area Federal Credit Union guest of the game, umpire, official, assigner extraordinaire, Thomas Van Landingham. Welcome back, Tom.
I appreciate you always having us and getting the word out about maybe the different side of the game that we as officials see. And like you said, anything that keeps me connected to the sports that I loved playing and growing up with, I'm willing to do it.
Before we get into your numbers and talk about some things going on, we're going to talk about a little bit just worldwide here. You got the World Cup going on here. You're the soccer assigner, so I'm sure you're a soccer fan. Have you enjoyed the World Cup?
I have. I was actually on a cruise with my wife, and they luckily were showing a lot of the games, and it was nice seeing different games, different countries playing with different people from different countries and get a little experience with that. So watching as much. Unfortunately, in my role, I actually get more clips than I do full game experiences. Hey, what do you think about this play? Or what about that play? So we'll be getting into a lot of clip and rule breakdowns when we start getting together as an association.
Surely as in the high school game, not quite as much flopping it goes on in the World Cup. I mean, somebody sent me a video today, and I put it in our group chat that showed a 1991 soccer game. It was like highlights. Mm-hmm. they were hitting like football players. And I was sitting there thinking, if this happened in the World Cup, there would be 50 arrests and 10 deaths on the field. To see where it's come now, like they were just like slamming each other.
There's a couple things in the modern game that can drive you crazy. A, as a spectator, B, as an official. The simulation is what it's called. It's technically against the rule. To go down. It's hard to give that card unless there wasn't any contact.
Right.
But it is getting to the point of ridiculous, egregious.
They will take 2 steps. They'll fall down. It looks like they've been shot. They'll roll around like they can't move. And when they see there's not a foul called, they're back up and run. That's when the card should come out.
Well, and what you will see, and spectators watch the game different than officials do, but what you see is half the time the officials just telling them get up, like they saw it, get up. I know what happened, and especially in soccer with advantage. One of the tools in the officials' toolbox is, hey, we can play advantage. Yeah, you got hacked, you got murdered, but your team's got the ball going to goal, so we're going to let that play out.
Right.
And so a lot of the stuff, it's you give that ebb and flow of the game, but the flopping is NBA level at times, or the NBA stole it from soccer. I don't know.
What's going on in the World Cup would make Duke embarrassed.
Yeah, it's bad.
Duke and Tennessee both are embarrassed.
And as an official, like because I'm not going to call anybody out, but I watched a lot of girls soccer last year. There was one team in the area that was super aggressive, but then would flop it like a fish when they get hit. So as an official, how do you is that you just try to watch it and just try to correct, like, hey, stop it, knock it off kind of thing? Or how do you guys do that?
Yeah, everyone's got their tolerance level for how much physicality goes in the game. I tell players in my pregame, like, you can be aggressive all you want, as long as that aggression goes legally into the ball or to the opponent. Mm-hmm. Anytime we step out late from behind with studs, that's when cards and whistles come out. That's taken directly from my pregame. So as long as you're consistent with applying that on the pitch, you'll be fine. What I hate, I'm a bigger person myself. I was a bigger person when I played. I was a keeper, pretty aggressive. I don't like being punitive towards bigger players or more aggressive players just because they happen to be more aggressive. But at the same time, level, age, skill, you got to take that in consideration when coming into a challenge. Was it excessive, too much force than necessary, or was it fair? Just the other team's maybe not as skilled, not as powerful, not as aggressive with the ball. But as long as you're applying that consistently, in my experience, 13 years of doing it, players will adjust.
I want to ask you too, do you think because you on a surface level, I guess what I'm trying to say, it looks like the soccer's it's getting a lot of momentum in the United States. You look at the MLS and the growth of that league. You look at even like the lower levels like Louisville FC, Lexington. They got their little rivalry going on, and Columbus, all these places all over the country where minor league soccer is flourishing. But then you turn on the World Cup, and like I get to Vic's point, you see the just egregious flopping. And I still, I get on my, the internet's not real. It's not like a real, I think, indicative of what the general opinion is. But do you feel like it hurts the game with the average American sports fan when you see it to that level?
Maybe to some, but I think the positive aspects of the sports outweigh that. If the worst thing we can say about the game is that there's a little extra flopping, that somebody's embellishing a foul call or going down. And we saw it in the first USA game against Paraguay where he goes down. The VAR stepped in, corrected it, rescinded the yellow to Ream, and gave it to the Paraguayan player. But I think if that's the worst thing we're saying about the game, then I think it's in an okay sport. There's always things in any sport that we're calling, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, soccer, that we can tweak to get it better, to improve the aspect of the game. And I think, especially in this World Cup, there's been way too much shirt pulling, even more than flopping. That goes unpenalized, even if seen. The pre-set piece action where guys are just bear hugging people and taking them down. Those things, to me, less than the flopping, those things have been trickling down more to the youth level, at the college level, the higher high school level, or the higher travel ball. Those things have trickled down, and that is frustrating to deal with because, like, ball's not even in play, guys. Let's, you're about to get a yellow card for hugging. Like,
is that the rule rule in soccer? Like you're not supposed to have contact like before the ball is even played?
So, holding is an offense. So if I'm grabbing your jersey or shirt pulling, that's an offense and cardable. Impeding or it used to be in the high school version, it was called obstruction. In USSF, IFAB, it's called impeding. Now they have impeding with and without contact. But I cannot prevent you unless I'm playing the ball or attempting to play the ball or within playing distance of the ball from you going forward. So if I'm just standing there and I grab you preventing, that's a foul. Mm-hmm. And especially in a set piece in the box, if I'm a defender, you're doing it, then that should be called. Now, the big problem is you can't call a common foul when the ball's not in play. So am I carding this or am I just stopping them from playing the corner kick? All right, guys, I'm seeing it. Knock it off, guys. Like unnecessary. So a lot of things that we do as officials is preventative. Hey, I've signaled a corner. Guys, set it up. I'm watching. I'm not even watching the kick. We've at the high school level, most of our crews are wearing comms. Yeah. So we're in constant communication with our partners. And I'll tell, if I'm in the center, I'll tell my AR, hey, you tell me when the player's approaching, when they kick it, I'm just going to watch the box. Yeah. And I'm telling the players that, hey, guys, I'm not even watching the kick. I'm watching you guys. Be smart. Don't do anything dumb. Be smart. If something kick being taken, hey, hold the kick. Guys, knock it off. None of that. Next time, I'm sending you both off. But if the ball's in play and someone holds it, it's a defender PK. If it's offense, we're coming out. Sure. So little things like that can be enforced, especially with at the teaching level, which high school and youth sports in the local area. We're still at the teaching level. We want those players to adjust to the game, and so sometimes when the game's being played at the highest level, like the World Cup, those things tend to trickle down a little bit. They're like, oh, I saw Messi get away with it. Yeah, he's Messi. Yeah. You're not. And more than likely aren't going to be. But so if we can instill those lessons on the pitch, even while we're calling a game, we'll try to do those things. As
people forget, soccer kicks off as the first team sport in early August. Everybody thinks about, football, on August 21st, but soccer kicks off earlier than that. Golf, but they don't, they kind of have their own different rules officials. So, how's the numbers? We're talking a little bit offhand. How's the numbers looking for? I can remember you coming in a couple of years ago and you're like, I got like 18 guys and they're doing like 47 games a week. How's the numbers right now?
Last I checked, it was the other day, we were about 35 to 40 guys in our association. Now, our association, third region, almost like every sport, football's different with their officials and their officials organizations, but every sport basically has officials based on the third region. So right. We're in Owensboro. We cover everything from Butler and Edmonson County out to Meade, to McLean and Muhlenberg, and then Ohio, Grayson, Brett, Davis, right? So there's soccer-wise, about 20 teams, varsity boys and girls, and then an additional 10 middle school teams, boys and girls. So any given week, we're playing 12 games a night, some Thursdays especially. So we need a lot of bodies. And now we're up. When I first started officiating, we were in the 50-ish range, which felt right, or I don't remember struggles. And when we got down to 18, it was
I bet, yeah.
And especially as the assigner having to deal with trying to match officials to work those games, we were sending people from Butler County for a 5:00 game out to Ohio County for a 7:30 game. We were sending people from Edmonson County to Brett County, changing time zones from Meade to Brett to make it all work. Schools were great about adjusting times and tweaking things so games got played, and that's what somebody like me who does 3 sports at different levels, that's what I want to see. I want to see games get played.
Yeah, if you don't have officials, it's just a backyard street game that you're playing.
It's practice, right?
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
And so to ensure that we get officials and to ensure that officials, can allow the games to get played, that's what this kind of new outreach that I've seen over the last several years has been about. More information about what it's like being an official. Mm-hmm. I think on social media always has a problem here and there, or goods and pros and cons. But one of the things that I think it's been I'm seeing both sides of it, where you'll see an incident and it'll go viral about, oh, look what happened at this official. But then there are also these websites and platforms that are calling out bad parent behavior, calling out bad team behavior, and being a support network for officials that, again, 99.9% of us just want to see kids play the games that we got to play growing up.
Yeah.
And I don't ever remember growing up thinking the officials were a problem. I mean, you play baseball, you get a bad strike call, you'd be like, blew that one. But I don't remember that being an element of the game.
No,
I never
I think,
questioned whether we were going to get play in the game because the official wasn't going to show up.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that's not been the case for the last couple of years.
Yeah, and I think one thing I've learned, through my time is, there were good umpires and quote unquote bad umpires when I was playing. But you also learned, and I guess maybe some of it was being a catcher, I learned, okay, such and such is behind the plate. His zone's a little wider than normal. And so you just adjust to it. And I think sometimes we kind of lost that ability where we think it's all supposed to be. But that's also part of how you just learn to adjust and move on and control what you can control.
Well, that also may be one of those things that are trickling down, right? We're seeing ABS at the pro, and we're expecting guys that are doing it at the high school level to be at that dialed in, and we're learning the guys that are best in the world at doing it aren't that dialed in, compared to a robot.
I mean, when he's throwing at 97 and he missed by 0.1 inches, come on now. And you guys are like, well, he's only at 80%. Well, yeah, but he's literally missed by microfilm
on a zone that was predetermined preseason that doesn't match up how the batter's actually standing in the game.
Exactly.
I'm being judged against this fictitious zone somewhere else. I just don't remember wondering whether we're going to get to play tonight because an official, they don't have enough officials.
Everyone's ever entered my mind in all 4 years I played, 5 years I played high school sports.
Yeah. And like you said, there's adjusting. There's a human element of sports. Players make mistakes, coaches make mistakes, and officials make mistakes. I think the best thing that we can do is really just empower the next generation of officials to come in, learn the craft, learn the mentality that it takes. There's all walks of life come and officiate. I'm an attorney and teacher. We have grandparents that come in or parents that come in after the kids get playing and said, you know what, I just spent the last 18 years of my life with 3 kids on the soccer field, and I kind of miss it. Let's get back to the game. We've got accountants, we've got tech people, every walk of life can officiate. A lot of police officers.
If Paul Eastman can do it, anybody can. That's all I know.
We were goofing on Paul a little bit. But, Thomas, we're joined on the Green River Area Federal Credit Union guest of the game, Thomas Van Landingham, an area soccer official. And are we just promoting soccer today or any other needs today?
Yeah. What I wanted to make sure everyone knew about is if you had any interest of, hey, my kid's done playing or they play, but I've got some spare time and I'd like to give officiating a shot. If you could reach out to me or my email's my name, thomas.vallandingham, VALLANDINGHAM @gmail.com. If you just reach out to me, I will get you connected to the right assigner in the area so you can learn how to get registered for the KHSA, and maybe beyond the pitch. At one of our training sessions coming up, we've got scrimmages starting in July of the 21st, I think is the first scrimmage on our date. And we put officials on the field as soon as we can to give them live instruction. That's the beautiful thing with the comms. We get those. And we also have an instructional classroom meeting coming up this Sunday at 6 p.m. I think that's the 12th at 6 p.m. And we host those in person at the Owensboro Symphony offices at 211 East.
Yeah, so if any interest, just show up and they'll take care of you.
I'll get you set up to the right place.
I'm glad you brought it. You said a word earlier I want to circle back to. You said the word human. I think, because I've been guilty in the past of being that crazy fan in the stands or that crazy parent in the stands, and, you think this or that. I would just encourage everybody, whether you're a fan or you're a parent, show up, get to know people, talk to people, and see officials as human beings. Because, yeah, that might have been a bad call. You sitting in the stands and you're upset, you may be correct. That might have been a horrible blown call. But at the end of the day, the umpire, the referee, the soccer official, you are a human being who is going to make mistakes, just like the kid on the field is going to make mistakes from time to time, just like the coach on the sideline from time to time is going to make mistakes.
Hold on, I never made a mistake coaching. Just letting you know.
Yes,
just
But is that something that you see as trending flat, up, down, with positive interactions?
I think what you're talking
negative?
about with the viral things, and that's I think the what you're seeing on social media of the pushback of when umpires are attacked or
You're right.
I think that is gotten much better, at least knowing it's going out there in the stigma about it.
So the more public those events and incidences become, has created a backlash from leagues that and other organizations about protecting officials.
States have made it.
States,
I mean, it's like you go to prison for it.
the U.S. Soccer on the USSF side has put in a ref abuse policy that comes with month-long bans, bans, lifetime bans, depending on how egregious the
You're very glad that wasn't at Rash Stadium. You may have never seen. You may not have even seen Zach play at home.
Listen, I lost my mind when they called that penalty and Frederick Douglass got that good field position at the end. I was out of line, man. But yeah,
but for me, I can count on less than one hand of how many really bad instances I've had, and I've called 3 sports. And I've been doing it for 13 years, and so some of it can be overblown. But when it happens, it has to be addressed, has to be noted, and has to be fixed. And leagues and schools and organizations like the KHSA are doing things to improve the dynamic there. But
I think the crazy part for me is I think there's worse behavior like at a girls 8 and under softball league somewhere than there is at the high school level, which is really crazy.
Yeah, the younger the kids there tends to be a more passionate fan, a parent element. I think usually as the kids age up, they realize this kid may not be making it to the majors, so this game, it doesn't feel as important. But the parents have learned, I think, as the players have learned how to deal with the human aspect of it. And I think the other thing that at least veteran officials have garnered, especially if you stay in an area like I've have in Owensboro in the 3rd region for so long, is that coaches know no one wants to mess up the call more. Like no one goes home dreading that bad call more than I did. If I tank a call or get a rule application wrong or missee it or don't see it, no one's going to feel more bad about that than I am.
Think about the ones that you've seen in the big level, like whether it be Dinkinger, in the Cardinal Royal World Series, like that aided him for the rest of his life. I mean, he talked about that, or the guy that blew the perfect game.
I think his last name was Joyce.
Yeah, I think so.
That last play of
a perfect game, and he blows it by. Like, it was completely blown.
And they send him up to give the lineup card the next. Like that guy, I'm sure that aided him.
Yeah, it still does.
I think of that scene from the movie Rounders, one of my favorite.
It's a great movie.
Great movie where Matt Damon says, a good player can't tell you all the big pots they've won, but they can tell you the ones they've lost.
Yes.
I'm sure I've made good calls in my career. I'm sure I have. I couldn't tell you one of them, but I can tell you the ones I know I blew.
Yes.
Yeah. Because they live with you. And that doesn't mean we dwell in that. Doesn't mean that I sit there over. I can't believe it. But you learn from them and you get better. And as long as coaches and players know that I'm out there for the right reasons doing this, so they can play, and I want to be as perfect as I can be. So the game can be less about me and more about the kids getting to play it. I think that goes a long way, and we've got a great association of people that have that mentality, and those are the officials that stick around and do great jobs.
Yes,
could we ask for perfect parents in the stands? Absolutely, we're not going to get it, right? Yeah. And I don't begrudge people, if they think I made a call, they get a different look. Look, if I'm calling balls and strikes and you think from, the side angle up in the top bleachers, that was a ball. Well, if I think, that was the best place for me to see balls and strikes, I'd be up there. I'll give you my seat, right? But everyone's entitled, to an opinion, and that's perfectly fine. We know that it's part of the game, part of the job when we sign up for. But like I said, most of us are 99.9% of us going out there for the right reasons.
And I think a lot of the parents out there, or even if a fan, if you're the person that kind of does the I'm hard on officials as a sport in of itself, You go and get a whistle and a referee shirt, try it out one time. You will go back and sit in the stands, and you will be a lot more understanding. I promise you.
Yeah, I've had people who's like, well, he needs to get tougher. I was like, well, there's no part of my officials manual that says I have to have tough skin. Right?
Yeah, right.
Like I got to apply the rules, and if we also have expectations for fan dynamics, and if you step out of it, there's consequences and penalties that we can apply for that.
Yes.
And again, I don't like throwing people out of games. I don't like parents not seeing their kids play. I've unfortunately had to abandon matches in soccer before due to parent behavior, and she's not going to get to see her kid play for a year under the new referee's policy.
Yeah.
That doesn't make me. I didn't wake up that morning going, "Oh, I'm going to ruin somebody's day by But at the end of the day, if we're doing our job, there's going to be some disagreements. Close calls are going to make half the crowd upset. And that's okay. We'll deal with it and move on. And I think kids and coaches understand that. Sometimes the parents are a little low on the learning curve.
So it's this Sunday, the 12th, is the meeting.
That's
it's at Owensboro Symphony offices.
Yes, that's at 211 East 2nd Street, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Interested in, it doesn't have to be soccer. If you're just interested in officiating any sport, he'll get you into the right purpose. Before we get you out of there, I got to ask, because you had the Major Baseball announcement that came out just a couple days ago that started in 2028, that high school baseball will be able to go down to a drop 6 bat. I think it's awful. I don't need to see Brady Atwell swinging a 33-27 or Barrett Evans swinging a 33-27 or Hayden Henry swinging a 33-26 or 28. But, as a guy that's out there seeing it, I mean, do you have some safety concerns too, like a lot of people do?
Well, if you're, this is news to me, I guess, being so soccer minded in the season instead of baseball, but they've done a great job with sports technology about making bats safer. BB Core standards.
BB Core is a lot better than the old BSER that we played with.
And I think, drop three's been around since I played. I graduated 05. So drop three's been around a long time. The same drop three that I played with is not the same drop three that they're playing now. That is surprising to me. I'm hopeful that with the lighter bat won't sacrifice any of the I don't know if the weight is the problem versus how the ball reacts off the bat.
Right.
And as long as the ball is coming off the bat more like wood, as
what the old BB Core was.
Right.
Yeah.
As much as we can, I think the idea is the ball comes off the bat more like wood or with that less of that pop or ping. Then I guess that'll be okay.
That got kind of crazy there with the trampoline effect on some of those bats.
But I would have to think that before the NFHS, which is the governing body of all high school sports, the sport rules, and they adopt these rule changes, I would have to think that they know the technology is there to allow the lighter bat that still wouldn't sacrifice the safety from especially the first third and pitcher.
Right.
But that seems from someone that used to swing one of the barrel bats, that seems
I mean, I love the idea maybe for like JV, because so many JV teams now are made up of 7th and 8th graders and young freshmen that, or even freshmen are made up a lot of 7th and 8th graders. Maybe they're not ready for a drop. I would have loved to see them say, hey, anything less than varsity could go to a drop 6, but varsity still has to stay with the drop 3.
When you're paying $400 per bat.
I was going to say, I know.
Parents may not like having the two different rules.
I have a hard time believing that some of this whole new bat technology, they got to sell more bats now. Somebody's making off of it.
Lobbyists in there.
Hey, thanks so much for coming in. It's always great. I tell you what, I thought about this. I think next summer, when we look at these top 10s and stuff, I think Steve and I are going to put a top 10 officials.
Oh,
rate the officials 1 through 10. There you go.
Like local officials?
Yeah, like the third region officials. We can do coaches. Legends. We can do officials too.
There's some legends out there for sure.
We, like I said, we're a part of the game, part of the local community when it comes to sports, and we appreciate anything that just highlights the game. I know you guys have done a great job of coming out to the regional baseball tournament over the past several years, and appreciate you having us on to spread the word of the need for more officials and the ability to get them out onto the pitch or onto the field or the court, whatever the case may be, so they can help kids play.
Well, thank you so much. When Dave and I come back, we're going to recap the state of the programs. Well, Dave went through all the shows and got my grade, Steve's grade, Dave will give you his grade and see where we're right and wrong of everybody we've done. It's Live at 5. 1027, The Game.
You know that weird squeaky sound your floor makes? Yeah, it's begging for a makeover. At Floor Concepts in Owensboro, they've got you covered. Literally. Hardwood, carpet, vinyl, tile. If it goes on the floor, they've got it. Locally owned, super friendly, and pros at what they do. Floor Concepts makes upgrading your home easy and actually kind of fun. Swing by their location on 231 or check them out online at floorconceptinc.com. Floor Concepts, your feet will thank you.
Looking for a financial partner you can trust? Look no further than Green River Area Federal Credit Union. Whether you're saving for the future, buying a new home, or need a loan, we've got you covered with competitive rates and personalized service. Join the community that cares about your financial well-being. Visit Green River Area Federal Credit Union at one of our 3 locations in Henderson, Greenville, or Owensboro and experience the difference today. Your money, your future, your credit union. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
This is Travis Holtry of Foreman Watson Holtry. Please listen to this personal message. I've lived in Owensboro, Kentucky for more than 30 years, and I've raised 4 daughters here. Most of our team members were born and raised here, and it troubles me to see national law firms with no ties to our town spending millions of dollars to persuade our people that somehow size matters. I'll tell you what matters: the blood, the sweat, the tears our attorneys and I have invested in our hometown. Dedicated to you, committed to justice. Foreman Watson Holtry.
Experience ultimate control and peace of mind with Labor Management Federal Credit Union's Secure Lock Equip, an easy-to-use mobile app that allows you to protect your credit and debit cards in real time. Turn your card on or off. Customize permissions as needed to prevent fraud and control spending. Visit lmfcu.net for details. Power to protect with Secure Lock Equip at Labor Management Federal Credit Union member NCUA.
There's something different about doing business with people who know your name and your neighborhood. At Ohio Valley Gas Corporation, we're proud to be local, serving families and businesses across our communities for more than 80 years. From the office staff to the technicians in the field, we're your friends, neighbors, and hometown team, committed to safe, reliable, natural gas service with a personal touch. Ohio Valley Gas Corporation, local service you can count on, from people who truly care. Learn more at ovgc.com.
When you're on the job, time is money. Get back to work faster when you buy online and pick up at your local Menards store. There's no need to handle your materials twice. Drive right into our lumber yard to easily load your order up or have it delivered directly to the job site. Save time and money on your next job when you order online with Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
The McLean County Fair is where community comes together. Join us July the 9th through the 11th at Meyer Creek Park in Calhoun for family fun, agricultural exhibits, livestock shows, entertainment, and activities for all ages. Make plans now to support local youth and agricultural programs. Sponsored by Paradise Nutrition, R.D. Rickard & Sons, Glen Cattle Company, Farm Boys Handyman Service, Waters Agricultural Laboratories, and Cargill.
And now, more Live at 5 with Stephen A. Turner and Vic Evans on 102.7 The Game.
It's Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtry, your one call for injury law. Big thanks to Thomas Van Landingham. You know, you're getting old when you guys finish. I've been an umpire or referee in 13 years. And then we're talking about, like, I coached him his senior year in baseball. It was like that was my first assistant's job at the high school level, 2005 with Owensboro.
Yeah.
He was on the team, and now he's a lawyer and officiating. And for 13 years, it tells you how
and
old I'm
probably a judge at some point here in the near future, I'd say.
Well, then I wouldn't mind that too much. I mean, like, hey, or it'd be the bad things like, remember what I did? You told me this back when I was coaching, but as you know, we've been doing our state of the programs. We're not doing anybody today. We'll pick that up again on, I think, Monday when Steve gets back. We've got Owensboro left, we got Catholic left, and Trinity. And but Dave, who went back and got like the grades for everybody.
Yes.
And then we were going to kind of recap, so in case you've missed it, you can always go back and listen to the show. We're not going to get in depth. We've already done that on the original show. We're just going to recap where Steve had them, where I had them. Dave will tell you what you think. And then Dave's kind of put what he put in together was, okay, on an average letter grade expectation-wise, where should that program be? So then you can kind of compare it to where it is right now.
Yes.
You know, and so of the schools we did, you go all the way back. I think the very first schools we did
was Grayson in Ohio.
Was Grayson, Ohio.
But
now,
before we get started, though, I got some beefs. Okay. That we really didn't include. I know we're just doing the main programs, but I'm like, track, cross country, golf, tennis, like.
Now, golf and
we got some really good track and cross country teams.
Golf and track, since it's also involved. This is set up as being involved in the Foreman Watson Holtree Cup,
right?
Which tennis is not. Probably needs to be, but it's more about what's easy for us to find.
Right, that's the issue.
Because it's not just who won the region. You got to know the semifinals. You got to know this because of the points, the way it's set up. Also, like districts. But we're looking at expanding the sports in the Foreman Watson Holtree Cup as best we can. But I agree with you that maybe, we kept it more squared right on, and then more about when we were given our state of the programs, it was basically the ones you can readily find on the scoreboard of, boys and girls soccer.
The main ones.
Yeah,
the main ones.
Yes.
And in my mind, I think about bonus points for, like, if your school has a sport that, like, not every school has, like Muhlenberg bass fishing and boys volleyball, which
they win the
which
state,
is
they got to get
sporadical.
bonus points.
Like, or even like lacrosse. Like, I think, if a school offers sports that not everybody has, it's almost a feather in the cap to that particular school. But let's kick it off real quick.
Grayson,
Grayson
I
County.
think I gave Grayson a C, and I gave Ohio County a B.
So you gave Grayson a B minus.
Okay.
And Steve gave them a B minus. I said their expectation for a program overall is right at a B level, right? Because I think you think that's fair.
I'd say C plus to B minus. Expectation.
I'm in agreement with you all. I went B minus for Grayson. I do think that baseball and softball need improvement.
They do.
Okay. So moving on to Ohio, I've got their program expectation at B overall.
Okay, I can live with that.
I can live with that too. Steve went C.
Right.
Caught some flack for that, right?
But I also say that was we had never even talked about grading them. That was done on the fly.
And you went B plus.
Yes.
I went C plus for Ohio County, and the reason I did is because I think the girls soccer was a regional powerhouse at one time.
So was basketball. They're down.
And girls basketball needs improvement now. I think the improvement's going to come big time on the football field. I think you might see the biggest jump.
Part of my B plus is because I love what the administration is doing and the hires they've made. Where Steve said, "Hey, I'm going to give them the C, but I expect it to go up next year."
Right. I think Holtzclaw's going to knock it out of the park. By the way,
Meade
County program expectations should be an A. Agree
I think
or
so.
disagree?
I think if you look at the sports that we're talking about, basketball, baseball, soccer, they are all regional contenders, and that should make you an A.
You went as A. Steve went A for Meade. I'm going B plus, and I'll tell you why. I think football is not where it needs to be right now.
No, but you got to look at it. You're going to go B plus. You were in this regional semis in boys soccer, in basketball, boys and girls.
Yes.
You're in the finals as the boys side. You're also the regionals, in baseball, and in softball, you're a regional semifinal. So most of the sports we were looking at, you were in the regional finals or regional semis are better.
Great program overall. I just think football should be better, and it will get better. I think Coach Powers, that's not a shot at Coach Powers. I think he's going to get them there. Just ain't there yet.
Okay.
Brett County program expectation B, fair or not?
I think that may be a little high. I was thinking C plus.
C? Okay.
Now I think where me personally want to see the girls program, I kind of see them a little bit like Owensboro, like outside of maybe one program.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, the girls programs have not been where they should be, in my opinion.
I'm probably going to that's a whole. I can't wait till that happens. Is I'm probably going to get in trouble again when we get to Owensboro.
But I love what they do in administration wise and the hires they've made too.
Brett, Steve went C. You went B minus. I'm going C plus.
Okay.
Boys basketball needs to be where Brett County and they got Brad, right? So like I'm a big Brad guy, and I have no doubt that they'll get there. But Brett County's won 2 state championships. There's a lot of pressure.
All right, next school.
Muhlenberg program expectation B, overall across the board.
B plus.
B plus. They should be at B plus.
I think so. I'll live with the B.
So C. Steve went with C minus.
Mm-hmm.
You went with D plus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give them a C because I am going to include bass fishing.
Yeah.
You win a state title in anything, I'm going to include that. But basketball's got to get back.
Yeah.
It's got to get back.
They had like 6 of them.
They
6 state titles in bass fishing.
Absolutely. Butler County program expectations for across the board C.
Yes.
Steve went C minus. You went C. I'm going with C because I think they're right at expectations overall.
There you go.
Henderson County program expectations A.
Yes.
You Stephen Turner went A. You went A. I'm going A plus because it's the best athletic program across the board in the area, and it's not close.
I agree with that.
It's not even close. It's not up for debate. It's not close.
I agree. I agree that 100%. Like if you did a combined, and now they're not in the Foreman Watson 100 Cup because they don't play in the same region.
Hey,
but
everybody in the third better be glad they're not.
Yeah, because they would be over. By far and away, it is the top to bottom number one.
And it's not close.
No.
It's not close.
No.
Let's move on to Hancock County. I think their program expectation across the board should be a B. Across the board, should be a B.
So I can live with C plus or B.
Okay,
yeah.
Let's look at the grades. Steve, he didn't give both of you you gave 2 answers. Steve went C minus, D plus. You both did, right?
Yeah.
You kind of were. I'm going to go D plus because I think Hancock County is not where they need to be across. Now, obviously, we know softball program solid.
Yeah,
Todd,
but
Todd
baseball and both basketball program. Softball and football are where they need to be.
I don't agree.
You don't think so?
I don't think football is where it needs to be. I think Hancock County has lost way too many. And again, I'm not taking shots. When I say that, it's not taking shots. Hancock County is one school that's a smaller school in the area that produces dudes.
Yeah, but when you look at what we were talking about, like you look at last year, they win 8 games and they win 2 playoff games.
I'm not.
Or they won a playoff game and got beaten round 2.
But
I don't know how you did that.
I don't think. I think Hancock County should be competing at a state level in football.
Okay,
I believe that. Maybe I'm crazy. That's where I'm at. I told you I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get in trouble.
Go to the next.
Edmondson County program expectation C.
Yes.
All right, Stephen A. went C minus. You went C minus. I went C. I think they're right on par with where the expectations should be. Davis County program expectations A.
Should be. It's a 6A school that where there's not many in this region, so it should be.
Absolutely. Stephen A. Turner went A minus. You went B plus. I went A minus. I was torn between.
I said A minus, but I said I took B plus down because I'm a baseball guy and their baseball program and not where it should be.
That's where I struggled because I almost went B plus as well. But man, the football program I feel like did better last year because you got to remember this is based on last calendar year, right?
Yep.
I think the football program outkicked their coverage a little bit last year, especially with the upset win over Apollo.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave them a little bump there, and it kind of negated.
I can live with that. I can live with somebody giving them an A minus. I can live with that.
All right, let's move on to yesterday.
Okay.
The McLean County Cougars program expectation C.
Yes.
I agree. Stephen A. Turner went B. You went B. I went B minus. I think I'm right there. I think McLean's exceeding expectations.
Oh, I do too. In fact, I would have gone B plus, but I thought the optics of the whole basketball change, even though I don't think it had anything to do with each other, the optics were bad. So I gave him a half a grade left.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember. I'm going to look at my notes just real quick. I think the football program's maxed out.
Yes.
I think as far as talent, Coach Wagner's done everything to be done. Last but not least, Apollo program expectations A. Across the board.
Probably.
Oh yeah,
it's
got to be A.
Yeah.
Steve went B plus. You went B plus. I went A minus. Like Apollo and football is solid. Everything.
Once again, because of the basketball powerhouse that the girls program used to be, I dropped them a half a grade.
They were really good in track last year. That's why I bumped them up.
There you go. Hey, it's been great. Enjoy your weekend. Steve will be back. We'll have Owensboro or Catholic and Trinity Monday. Stay to the program.
Live at 5 on 102.7 The Game. Special thanks to Foreman Watson Hultree for